Yep.
Good. So, you guys shoot.
Yeah. So how do you feel about your rebounding at this moment?
One of the things that we work on it every day, and one of the things that we're going to do here at Georgetown is rebound, right? And we got to do it by committee. We don't have a couple of seniors that left, right? So we have to do it by committee. The guards got to get in there and rebound. Well, I think we're going to be fine. We just got to make sure we do a better job of just making sure that everybody's a part of it and we kind of gain rebound, which is what we wanted to do, but we had a luxury of Grace Ann Bennett last year that she was able to go in and get some of those on her own. But this year we're going to do it by committee.
What is it about you that allows you to kind of manage chaotic situations? I mean, you became the coach, it was chaos. You know, that whole season, and this year one of your coaches is pregnant. She's going through her maternity leave thing. So what about you? What makes you be able to handle those kind of situations?
And I get into this a lot. I think I'm a spiritual guy, right? And I think God never puts you in situations that you can't handle. So I think sometimes people think that some type of friction or some type of issue is something that you need to run from, and I don't run from those. I go to them, right? I think I've been blessed with being a kind of a problem solver, right? And I think being a coach and being a head coach or CEO is the biggest problem solver of them all. I got to figure out how to get these young women to play at the highest level they can, and I think, with God's help, I'm able to do that.
Is that one part of your South Miami background too?
Yeah, man.
I'm just handle the chaos.
Yeah, I'm a Miami outside dog, man. That's what it is. Obviously, we just figure it out, right? We find a way to figure it out, and I think our young women are figuring me out and taking on that. We're just going to find a way to figure it out.
In year two, how has it been different? Being entrenched as the coach now. How have you tried to build this program in the image that you imagined that it would be?
I think one of the things that a misnomer that, like, one of the reasons that I came here with Coach Tasha, because for the most part, our philosophy and how we thought about things and how we thought about the game and how we thought about building the program was kind of very similar, right? So there's no real difference in how we're approaching it. It's just I'm the head of it now, and how I was coaching it. Like a lot of times, I'm there before I get there, right? So I play the part before I get there. That's what I tell our young women. Like, we have to be there before we get there, right? So I think over the course of the year last year, I wasn't thinking about. I was just in my element, man. I wasn't worried about if I was gonna. I didn't know I was gonna have a job, right? But I just was in the moment. I wasn't thinking about the future. I wasn't thinking about the past. I was just thinking about being in that moment at that time and making sure that we made this program the best program we can make it be.
Rosters change from year to year. What are the things that maybe you have to do different offensively this year that maybe you didn't do last year that works out better for this particular roster?
I think so. You spoke on rebounding a little bit. Like, we were really good at rebounding the ball, right? Especially on the offensive end. But we missed a lot of shots, right? So when you miss a lot of shots, right, you're going to be a good rebounder if you can do that, right? I don't think we may have to rebound as much this year because we can make shots, right? We brought some shooting in. We brought a lot of good people that can score in a lot of different positions. So some of the shots that we may have missed before, hopefully over the course of the season, we make some of those shots, and our rebounding on the offensive end isn't as much because we're finishing plays.
You spoke about having new people in through the transfer portal. When you went inside the portal, were you looking for specific roles, or was it more, I just want to get an influx of talent?
Well, they gotta fit us. So, like, sometimes it's role, sometimes it's the person, sometimes it's, yes, I wanted to go grab some size, but it's tough to go get size. It's like going to get a quarterback, right? It's tough to go get some size in the portal because, believe it or not, in women's basketball, they cost money, right? So going to get that is tough, right? Especially at a place like Georgetown, especially in Georgetown women's basketball. So what we have to do is we got to supplement some things with some things that people can do, right? We went to go get some rebounding. We get Chet and Wicke, come from a winning program at Princeton. She rebounds the ball at a very high level. We go get a kid from Richmond, Sid Ryan, that shoots the ball. She really led the country in three-point field goal percentage last year, but she just didn't take as many shots. But she shot at 47% from the three-point line. So I know we wanted to get shooting. I know we wanted to replace rebounding. So that's what we wanted to really focus on in that quarter.
How's your freshman class coming along?
Freshman class is coming along really well. We have Jada McBride is doing a great job. Cotty Hessian is doing a great job. Our local kid, Jada Wilson, is coming in and doing a great job. And we got a Brazilian, right? We got a kid on the Brazilian national team. Her name is Alexia Dagba. So Alexia Dagba is great. She can play the 4, she can play the 3. Great length, great skill. She can do that. And then the surprise is going to be Amanda Ajobiwe from California. She's a lefty, kind of a junior Kelsey Ransom.
Is the international women's basketball market, is it similar to the men's in terms of a lot of players want to come over here for college, or you have to pick and choose? How involved is that?
No.
And then are you going to plug into that market going forward?
Absolutely. I think if we can, I think that's a great market that we have to use, especially to go grab size, right? You got South Carolina went in and got Camila Cardoso from Brazil, right? So she ended up being the top 5 pick in the WNBA draft. I think the market is really good because they really focus in on their skill and being basketball players. And I think that's really a big piece to this. I think the international market is something that we can kind of boom with here at Georgetown.
Do the women come not freighted with, like, I think the men sometimes are afraid, oh, that program's struggling, I'm not going to look at them. Whereas the international women, do they have any idea of who's struggling, who's not? I mean, what?
Sometimes,
okay.
But for the most part, they just want an opportunity,
exactly.
man. And one of the things that I like about Alexia's, she fits us. She's outside dog, right? She's in sprints and preseason conditioning, and she's about to fall out, but she's getting right back up on that line, right? And she's doing things that we got to do for us to be successful.
Coach, obviously we know how important Kelsey is as a player, but with Grace Ann and some of the other transfer seniors going out, how important is her leadership piece for you guys this year?
I think losing Grace Ann and losing some of the seniors was really big, but Kelsey was a leader in her way. So Grace Ann was more of a vocal leader. She did a lot of the talking, right? Kelsey Ransom is a doer, right? She does her leadership doing. She's doing a great job now of using her voice because we have some younger people and she sees the talent that they have. But I want Kelsey Ransom to continue to be Kelsey Ransom. I don't want her to be anybody else, right? And when she does that, it inspires. She's a doer, so she inspires. And I'm excited about her and her growth as a player and her growth as a leader.
Scott obviously went down late for you guys last year. She was really coming on. Can you give us any type of update on her health and what her timeline looks like?
Well, right now we don't really know the timeline on Brianna Scott. But right now she's out, right? Don't really know the timeline on that. Don't really know what we're going to do moving forward with that. But she's in great spirits. Right now she's at a women's leadership conference, right? So we're making sure that she's getting both aspects of being a student athlete and being a leader to help us in our program and help her as she progresses in her life.
Do you think Ransom is capable or worthy of having her jersey retired here at Georgia?
I think Ransom has already left a legacy. I think you got the Rebecca Brunsons and the Sugar Rogers of the world. I think her being our leader and her taking us to the first ever WBIT, we got the banner up there, and her just doing the things that other people may not want to do, right? I think she's definitely put her name in the hat to be up on the wall here at Georgetown. What you got? What you got, buddy? What you got, man? You ain't said nothing today. What's
About
up?
being an outside dog once they get in the gym, but particularly in this new like transfer portal era, how do you like look? What traits are you looking for to see if a recruit fits what your program is trying to be?
So initially it's like dating, right? When you dating, when I met my wife, the first thing I do is I'm looking at her, right? The looks. You watch on film and you see the looks. They look the part. They can play. They can, right? But then when you talk to them and you talk to the people around them, you find out their character. You find out. You call it like I might call your high school coach. I got pretty good relationships with your college coach that you're probably transferring from. So I'm gonna get the real spiel from everybody on the type of person you are, right? What kind of teammate you are, right? Do you care about other people? Does it, or is it all about you? Maybe that just doesn't fit. Maybe the system doesn't fit. Maybe our system fits. So I'm looking at all of those aspects when we're recruiting, especially out of that portal, because we don't want to get anybody that kind of taints, the water here at Georgetown.
Does the way they maybe talk to or engage with their parents, do you evaluate that?
Absolutely. How they talk to their parents, how they talk to their coaches, right? What they're doing on the sideline when they're not playing, when they come out of the game, how do they respond, right? When there's a big play made or something happens and they're not playing in the game, are they enthusiastic for their teammates? I'm looking at all of those things. So a lot of people don't know this, but when I'm recruiting, I might not even. You got a game. If Barb has a game tomorrow, I may not be going to the game. I'm gonna go to the practice before the game, right? So I'm gonna see who they are when the lights ain't around, right? Because I already know you can play. If you couldn't play, I wouldn't be there recruiting you, right? So those are a lot of the things that I'm looking at. I'm looking at a lot of things outside of the floor on the type of person you are. And if you fit, can you handle me? Can you handle when it ain't right, when it ain't going well? Because I'm gonna put you in a position where you're gonna feel like it ain't going well. I'm doing it on purpose, so I know who I can count on when the stuff hits the fan.
Anything else for Coach?
Yep. So
Go ahead.
So as you mentioned, a lot's changed between last year and this year. But in terms of if you had a message for the students and the student body, what would your message be heading into this season for them?
Get ready to watch an exciting brand of basketball that you're gonna be proud of. Ain't nothing changed, right? We just some pieces came. We lost leadership out of Grace and Bennett, but the same outside dogs you saw on the floor last year is gonna be the same outside dog you're gonna see on the floor this year. If not, then we got to do something different, right? Because that's gonna be who we are. That's who we are. That's who we have to be. They understand that, and if they're not doing that, we hold them accountable for that. And then hopefully, we outside dogs and we're making some more shots. That's how big. We're making a lot more shots now, right?
Segue right there.
Are you guys good?
We're good.
Coach? Okay.